it's Christy with greenlivingoffgrid.com. And as you know, it's a really weird time right now with this coronavirus ravaging the world, ravaging our country and our nation. And you know, it's kind of disconcerting when you go to the stores to get basic supplies and find a lot of things missing. And if you're like me, you realize when this virus is working through communities and they're shutting things down, you wonder, you know, if even just walking into the store is going to, you know, increase obviously your risk of catching it. And the way this virus is traveling, it has us all concerned. So one of the reasons I wanted to come to you today and talk to you about what we do here with greenlivingoffgrid.com is because I really believe that the more people that can learn how to grow their own lettuces and different kinds of vegetables at home, it will decrease your risk and your potential for catching diseases. It helps you unplug, off grid, if you will, from the, store supply chains. And, even when we're not dealing with a pandemic like this, we still have those different kinds of E. coli and different diseases people catch from vegetables at the stores. And so even just learning how to do your own hydroponic lettuce grow trays and different vegetables at home through the different hydroponics and aquaponics systems that we build here at Green Living Off Grid can be a real benefit to your health in the long run. So today I want to talk about this. I have these lettuce trays. I featured them in many of my videos, but it's a really simple. I want to encourage you to learn how to do these because this is, especially in times like these, learning how to have your own grow system can help prevent you. It could make the difference between life and death for you if indeed you were to get exposed to something just trying to get basic vegetables at the stores. So this is really simple. I have here, as you can see in this bottom tray, I have these guys done already. I've just got the little net pots here with the Rockwell cubes, the little hydro tin, and I have water in the bottom with some nutrients. And they're so simple to set up. I've got some lights on here. So let me just give you a quick review of how this is all done. Let me show you a close-up. So I just got this little hose I hook up to my laundry room sink. So it's right about where I want it. I usually put that net pot, as you can tell, right in the middle. So you got water coming in right about at this level. That's where I usually set it. You can see it right there. And I've soaked my Rockwell cubes right here. So you gotta see the little squares are all cut out and they're all soaked. So they're ready now to go into my net pots. And all I need to do is grab one of my net pots here. I've got 3-inch net pot. I just can't do this with one hand. I'm holding the camera right now because I'm trying to show you guys. But all I'm going to do is just basically set this in the center here. Make sure it's to the bottom of the net pot. Put my little hydro tin around it like you see with those guys. And it's just pretty simple. But I'll need 2 hands to do this part. So yeah, I'll just put my little hydro tin around it, throw my seed in. And what I use for lighting, I've got the, you can't really tell real well, but these are LEDs, daylight spectrum. I look for LEDs that will provide, 75 is really good. If you can get 75 LEDs, they do really well. Anywhere 75, and I think one of these, this one's probably 100 watt because I have a bigger fixture on it. This is a little smaller. These are anywhere from, 60 is the lowest I would go. The 60 watt LEDs, and technically that's not using 60 watts, it's 60 watt equivalent LED. So really 60 watts the lowest, and 75 do a whole lot better. That's what I usually run in here. So I've got that 60, 70, 75. And for the nutrients, let me just show you this real quick. I've got this tray ready to go. As you can see, I just raised the water level to where it ran to that 1/4 inch up from the bottom of the net pot. All I'm going to do is throw a couple scoops of this powdered Maxi Grow solution. I love the Maxi Grow. It's so simple. it's just great for green growth. You know, you can get more formulated types of hydroponic solutions for like tomatoes and other kinds of plants that require more nutrients and more precision on the nutrients to get the quality of what you're looking for. But just throw these little, couple tablespoons. They come with their own little scoop, so you can just do that. 2 of those is all it needs in one of these trays, because these are 10-gallon trays. They're approximately 7 inches in height. And I want to show you this real quick. So, 7 inches is all you need for actual depth, because as the water level drops inside here, as the plant uses this up, usually it takes about 2 months for the plants. I usually plant up to, as you can see, I have 9 holes, but generally not all of them will sprout. And so I typically will put one in here, and I'll have ideally one plant here, another one that will grow here and here. So I'll move them around, see what sprouts, what doesn't. You can comfortably grow 5 lettuce heads in here, and the ones that are in the corner, get the most light, because I don't have any light in the middle here. If I did, the middle would grow a little better, but they tend to get a little crowded out. Lettuce needs a lot of space. So I generally, if any sprout here, but I don't have one sprout in the corner, I move them. So I get 5 a tray. And those 5 heads will grow over a period of 6 weeks to 8 weeks. By the 8th week, you do want to make sure you harvest them out, because they do, the nutrient starts to drop after 8 weeks. But usually 2 tablespoons of nutrients mixed up real good. You can just hand mix it like this. And I don't add any more nutrients. I sometimes will add water. Sometimes when plants, especially summertime, it's a little warmer, they might use more water. So sometimes I'll have to add a little water, but I don't add any more nutrients, because lettuces will get enough nutrients to grow to term in the 2 months that they're inside these trays. And so only, once in a while do I have to add maybe a little water towards the end of those 8 weeks, just to ensure that, they don't dehydrate on me. But generally, if you, fill it to those levels in a 10-gallon tub, it's really only half full, as you can see. And the nutrients on the bag, I go the lower number. They say 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon. I'm sorry, not tablespoon, teaspoon per gallon. And then the way you equate it is usually it's about 6 gallons in a tray. So that would be the 2 tablespoons, because there's 3 teaspoons in one of those measuring tablespoons. So basically 2 of those are 6 teaspoons of water, of the nutrients to go with the 6 gallons. So that's how I do it. That's how I set up my nutrients. I don't have to have aerators with this crack key method. Again, the way the net pots sit inside here, it's very simple. You've got your net pot right here on each of these holes. Only come into that, quarter of the bottom, and as the plant uses the water, it drops below the net pot. That's fine. You want to have like an air gap as the plant grows. And that's how crack key keeps the plants from drowning when they don't have aerators to provide the aeration for your plants. So anyway, I love this method. So simple. The only thing I use electricity on it is, of course, the lights. And so if you provide a good light for your tray, you could set this thing up anywhere. It could be in a closet of a bedroom. It can be, I have it here in the laundry room, which is really nice, because I've got my little hose that I could just hook up right to, I'm not going to put more in here, but it's so simple. Just hook this hose up to my laundry room sink and fill it whenever I want to, and I can of course drain it. I have a little pump I use, but usually I don't have to drain it much. The plants use up the water pretty well, maybe an inch from the bottom, and then I just dump that outside and start over. So very simple. Anyone can do this. This is not something that takes rocket science. And if you don't have a pH measure, I wouldn't even worry about that necessarily. You can just start with whatever water you have and just see if your plants grow okay. If they don't seem to be growing great, then check your pH. You might have to do some pH adjustment. Mine is just fine coming off my well water, so 7.8 just grows great. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Get some trays, get a little shelving unit, hook it up to some electrical for the lights, and a way to fill it with water, and you are all set to have your own off-grid, if you will, garden system right in your home. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out at greenlivingoffgrid.com and like and subscribe.